Hello, happy Earth Day from the Muscatine Art Center. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make an egg carton flower wreath. Now, there are two different ways that you can make this. They're both a little time consuming because you do need to let your egg cartons dry, but there's kind of a simpler version here and with cartons all around, or you can do a bigger version here. So for sure what you definitely need is a carton. Just a clean, empty egg carton. You don't need the lid. You just need the little part here where the eggs sit. You need a cereal box or cardboard, and that's what's going to be the back of your flowers. Something heavy enough to hold them in, or boxes, anything like that. But if you just want to make a simple paper plate one, you can just grab a paper plate and then just cut out the middle. And how I like to do that is take a plain paper plate, fold it in half gently, cut till you get to the ridge here, fold it the other direction, and then cut that again to the ridge. And then once you open it, you have an easier way to get your scissors in, and then you can just cut this inside out. So if we go the route of the paper plate, you would need to just cut the inside of this out and then paint the ridge here. Just paint it green because this is going to be the outside of your wreath. Now similarly, if you use paper, a heavier paper or cardboard, all you need to do is just make kind of a donut shape if you want, or you can just make it solid. So I've made a donut shape out of heavier cardboard. So this came from a cereal box. That's just about as heavy as you need it. So you can just trace on the inside of your cereal box in a donut shape, just like that. Cut that out, and then also paint that green. You're going to need to let that dry. So those are the two different kinds. Here's a bigger one. It has more flowers on it. It takes more time to be for older kids and adults. More time consuming. This one's a little bit faster for the younger ones who are a little impatient, but it's still a fun activity. So the flowers are the same no matter which way you put them. The flowers are still the same. So the flowers are coming from our egg carton. So each individual egg carton here, you're going to want to cut out. So the easiest way that I found to cut out an egg carton is to go from the bottom. Take a good pair of scissors, good and sharp. Go from the bottom, and some of these have holes that you go right up inside there. And you just snip them just quick like that, and then come to the other side and then snip them off. So then you get the individual cartons just like that. So this is where the fun part comes. You can mold these, you can bend these, you can cut these any way that you want to make little flowers. So you can let's maybe cut this all off, and we'll just have a really simple straight flower like that. Really simple, nothing too fancy. That's one kind of flower you can do. You can also take the sides and snip down the sides like this, and then make a different kind of flower. Maybe it's like a daisy or something like that. Careful you don't snip your fingers. Just snip them down the side and then just flatten them out just like that. They'll become your little petals. See? So just get creative, have fun. Maybe look at some pictures of different flowers or different plants and maybe try to replicate it. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's all how you cut, and it's all how you bend and all of that. So but make sure that you do keep the bottom part here, because you're going to need that to glue onto your wreath, onto your flower bed. So once you've got all your flowers sort of cut out, you're going to need to paint them. Now you can use any kind of paint you want. You can use markers if you don't have paint or don't want to use paint, but it does show up better and it looks pretty neat if you have paint. So the thing that can kind of makes kids a little bit impatient is you do have to let these dry completely. So paint these any color of paint that you want, any colors, any kind of spring colors. This one here has some really pretty spring colors, some blues and pinks and whites and purple and yellow. Paint them any color you want, but make sure you paint all on the inside and the outside of your egg carton. You don't have to worry about getting the very, very bottom, but you want to get all on the inside and all on the outside. And you want to set these aside and let them dry for a couple of hours because they need to be really, really dry and hard, because when you paint egg cartons, they get a little mushy, but you're not going to be able to work with them very well because they'll get very sticky. So you have to have some patience and put your cartons aside and let them dry completely. Once they've dried completely, you can use your glue. Now, I would recommend hot glue. The other kind of glues will not really work for this. You need to have hot glue. So then you can, whether you've chosen to do a big heavy one like this or a smaller one with a paper plate, you're going to need the hot glue. So in this one, this is a more simple design. All you have to do is just arrange them in a way however you want around this. This one's pretty easy because there's really only room for one flower after the other, just, you know, in a row like that. So you can go any color, you can make a pattern however you want, but then you can hang this on your door or in your bedroom. Could be a great early Mother's Day present too. This one has a little bit more going on with it because it's thicker on the back with the donut shape. Then you can kind of rearrange your flowers in maybe sort of a pattern, or maybe mix up your different kinds of ones. So this one, that's a big, has big petals, and this one down here has big petals, so we put them far apart. So however you want to arrange them, but you'll have to put one down and then glue it down, and then maybe take the next one and kind of just see where you want to put it. But again, you want to make sure that these are completely dry, because once they dry, they'll harden a little bit. And if you need to put 2 coats of paint on it to make it look really, really good like that, then go ahead and do that. But you do need to make sure that it's completely dry. Another thing that you can do are you can add some petals to it. You can take some more of your cardboard, like that cardboard, or even these little pieces that you've cut off your egg cartons to make your flowers. You can paint those green, and then you can stick those behind your flowers like that, and that becomes some little petals. So that's a whole other thing that you can do as well. And then to get into the last part of it, so the inside of the flowers, you can either take your finger or a paintbrush and add a little accent to the inside of the flower. That's your pollen. You can do it with paint, or what I did with this one is I actually found some colored buttons. So you can use buttons and put buttons in there, or you can use little pom-pom balls or any little accessories that you want to kind of stick inside, and that will kind of finish up your little flowers. So make sure, again, you want to make sure that it's completely dry before you glue it to your wreath. So you've got a small wreath made out of a paper plate, or there's a larger wreath you can get more flowers on, and this is made out of a cereal box, and it's more of a donut shape. So there's 2 different ways you can do it, but both of them are really fun, and it uses some recycled materials because it is Earth Day, and we want to be respectful to the planet, and we want to be able to use some things that we have lying around the house so we don't have to throw them away. We can give them a new purpose. So thank you for coming to this tutorial, and I hope you have a happy Earth Day. Bye-bye.